I don't know about you, but I am pretty fed up of well-made plans coming to nothing and all the ongoing uncertainty about the future. So, enough is enough. I've decided to share with you the definitive, unalterable, set in stone roadmap of where we are heading as a church. And I can guarantee that no new COVID variant, no fresh government restrictions, and no threat of future lockdown is going to prevent this from happening. So here's the plan. Here's where we're heading. Ready? Let me quote from Revelation 7. After this, I saw a vast crowd too great to count, from every nation and tribe and people and language, standing in front of the throne and before the Lamb. They were clothed in white robes and held palm branches in their hands, and they were shouting with a great roar, "Salvation comes from our God who sits on the throne and from the Lamb." And all the angels were standing around the throne and around the elders and the four living beings, and they fell before the throne with their faces to the ground and worshipped God. They sang, "Amen. Blessing and glory and wisdom and thanksgiving and honour and power and strength belong to our God forever and ever. Amen." Now look, there are some other plans that I'll be sharing in a moment, but in all seriousness, everything I'm going to say has got to be seen against this backdrop. We're going to spend all of eternity in community with God's people, enjoying Jesus together. And really, all this life is preparation for that. In other words, ultimately, it's all about Jesus and not me. It's very much about me in community with others, not me as an individual. It's about participation, not spectatorship. And it's all about sacrifice, not merely my convenience. Which is why, deeply grateful though I am for our online meetings, they are never actually going to be enough. And come what may, why we're determined to move back to meeting together again in person. And so, to that end, I can now reveal that we have an agreed date with King Edward's to relaunch our whole church Sunday gatherings on, wait for it, the 11th of July. I should add 2021, so just a few weeks away now. Of course, this is still dependent on the government easing restrictions around social distancing, but we are now very much planning towards that date. All systems go. And really, between now and then, we want to do all we can to help equip you to take active steps towards meeting together again on a Sunday morning. Next week, if you remember, it's the Catalyst Festival online, which, although it is online, I would encourage you to be as creative as you can to find ways to join in with others. And then through June and the first week of July, we'll be allocating our Central House service, which, by the way, has been going wonderfully well. We've had over 100 people now engaging with that, and it's been strangely moving being in a room with people worshipping, albeit humming, listening to live preaching, engaging with people socially distanced outside afterwards. It's been a wonderful time. We're going to open that up, not just to the first 30 or so who can sign in online every week, but to specific community groups each week, to give an opportunity now for everyone to engage with a live meeting at least a couple of times before we find ourselves all together again at King Edward's. And then for the Sundays when we are not at the Central House service, we're launching what we're calling Raw Church Gatherings. We're going to keep broadcasting online content every Sunday, but it's going to be a little more stripped back, or should I say raw, and will be geared towards helping groups of 6 or 2 households gather together to engage with God and His Word in the same room. Very practically, your community group leaders, they'll help organise this if you're struggling to work it out for yourself. And I should add, if you're not currently in a community group and you'd like to be, please do reach out to us at hello@churchcentral.org.uk. Now, if you're at all familiar with the launch of the church in the book of Acts, you'll know that they met together in each other's homes, sharing food, sharing life, devoting themselves to the apostles' teaching, to prayer, to praising God with gladness. And so we can't take all the credit for this idea. It's been going on for 2,000 years and is actually still absolutely flourishing all around the world today. You see, God's design was never for us to live out our faith by ourselves in front of a screen. And so I want to urge all of you to now seize the moment and see the opportunity in this. Please, please, please do all you can to embrace our Central House services and our Raw Church gatherings. For the record, we'll do all we can to make the online meeting simple and ready to use to enable you to have a great morning together in your home. And for your part, please come expectant. Let's see this not as a stopgap, not as merely treading water, but as a time we can grow even more in love for one another and spur one another on in our love together for God, in preparation for that great day when we're back together again at King Edward's, which is in anticipation of that infinitely greater day when we're together around the throne of the Lamb with countless millions from every nation and tribe and people and language praising Jesus with all we've got.